Salvete omnes, this is I'm Amelia, also known as TheMartianGeek, and occasionally a few other names, and I thought it might be a good time for a status update. I'm sorry this channel's been so slow lately. Rest assured, I am still working on the last extras for Mega Man 9, the extras for Super Mario Bros. 2, and the next Bayonetta scale video. But I actually got a new job back in May, which I have mixed feelings about. Sure, it's provided income, but it's also tanked my productivity. I started the job on May 20th, and you might notice that my last upload was shortly before that. Yeah, that's definitely not just correlation. And I do feel like venting about that a bit in addition to talking about what I came here to explain, so if you don't have the time to listen to me whine, you can skip to about 3 minutes and 20 seconds in. Like I said, even though the job is only 20 hours a week, it still caused my productivity for everything else to take a nosedive. I don't really want to get caught up in any major projects before work, and after work I'm usually too worn out mentally and physically to be up for much. At least other than playing video games and browsing the interwebs. I don't work on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but I usually try to schedule all my appointments on Friday because it's better than doing them on a day at work, and I tend to have family stuff going on over the rest of the weekend. So even though I do get some leeway with the weekends, it's not enough. Also, for the first week and a half and at least some of the time after that, the job actually increased my anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts, so that's good. For 4 days a week, my schedule pretty much was and is, alright, take out the garbage, cook 50 pounds of bacon, hate my life and want to die, play Octopath Traveler, okay, that's another day's work accomplished, time to call it a night. If I actually liked the job, of course that would be different, but as it is, it's just very much not up my alley, and I end up dreading it every day, even on my days off. My mom was the one who originally suggested applying here in the first place, and she figured that even if it's not ideal for me, I ought to at least learn something from it. I guess I did indeed learn something from it, namely that I really don't freaking want to work in food service, especially not fast food. How enthusiastic about my work can I be when I wouldn't even care to eat most of the food on the menu due to sheer percentage of empty calories? It's also pretty darn monotonous, which is a major reason I don't like it. I need things to keep my mind occupied, and about the only way this occupies my mind is if I'm humming music in a weak attempt to alleviate some of the boredom. I guess I'm more used to the work than I was at the beginning, though dishwashing still sucks donkey butt. But there's just no getting over the feeling that there are so many better things I could be doing. Some would say I'm entitled, and I don't know, maybe I am. But you know, I have a college degree, and at least some skills, marketable and otherwise. And in an ostensibly free market, I should be able to find a job that at least somewhat aligns with those skills, as opposed to this one which makes use of none of them. So pardon me if I don't leap in exultation at the opportunity to sacrifice my time, energy, and health for $40 a day, performing tasks that could be accomplished perfectly adequately by a robot running a while loop. I don't disrespect people who work in such jobs and maybe even enjoy them, though if anything I feel like I actually have less respect for food service work now than I did before ever doing it myself. But it's not where I belong. I mean, it's great if I want to get yelled at for taking 45 seconds to wash my hands instead of 30, or show up to choir rehearsals 20 minutes late and smelling like stale bacon grease, but otherwise 1 star out of 5 would not recommend. It did, however, convince me to do at least one thing besides avoid restaurant work for the foreseeable future: find alternative sources of income. And that is actually the main thing I'd like to discuss here. I have a Patreon now. After much deliberation, I finally decided to get one, so if you want to support me, you can do it that way. The page is Galactic Fae Creations. There's a link to it in the video description. It's my first time ever doing anything like this, so please bear with me as I get the hang of it. But wait, there's more! I've also decided to start taking commissions for music compositions. I can do NES or Super Nintendo, so NSF or SPC, as well as WAV file conversions of either of them. I could potentially do something more advanced, such as a MIDI, as long as I can do it in MuseScore or Finale Print Music. I know that there are more advanced tools out there for such things, like FL Studio, Cubase, LMMS, that kind of stuff. I guess they call them digital audio workstations. But unfortunately, I have yet to find one that makes any sort of sense to me. Having a learning curve to use to their full potential is one thing, but when it's difficult to figure out such amazingly complex and intricate tasks as setting the instrument and placing notes, there may be a problem. MuseScore might not be capable of as much as a lot of serious music software, but it also doesn't feel like it was designed by Roberta Williams. In any case, if you want specific instrument samples as opposed to the ones I'd normally use for my own stuff, you'll need to provide those in a format that I can use. For FamiTracker, that would be FTI files, along with any necessary parameters such as noise pitch or special commands. For SPCs, BRR files along with instrument parameters, so ADSR gain and tuning. And for anything else, I guess SF2 sound font files would be the way to go. My prices will vary quite a bit depending on the length and complexity of the track, but you can figure an average of about $35 or $40. Also, I would be posting the finished compositions on my channel, or possibly SoundCloud or some other place. If you want to keep one private, we might be able to work something out, especially if it's for a project that's supposed to be a surprise, but I may charge extra. Of course, if you want full-on commercial ownership of it, that will definitely cost more than the default. I guess if you're a Super Mario World hacker, I might also be willing to take ASM commissions, but that could be problematic, so I make no guarantees on that. So to sum everything up, 1. If there's anything a Martian Geek hates, it's food service work, especially fast food, the symbol of America's health problems and toxic work culture. 2. I have a Patreon now. It's Galactic Fae Creations, so if you want to support me financially, check it out. 3. I am now accepting commissions for music. Prices and format may vary. And that should about cover everything I had to say. Again, I am sorry for the lack of activity. I hope I can get back into the swing of things soon. In any case, however it turns out, I'll see you next time.